Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I filmed this look. If you want to see how I got it, then just keep on watching. My brows are done and I've just kind of drug my concealer down to my eyelids just to kind of give it a base or prime, if you will. Now I'm going to go ahead and dip into this shade in the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm going to just start by placing this down in the crease. I think I already told you guys, but I don't set my lids anymore. I just kind of like let the concealer sit down a little bit by itself, and then I go in with shadow. And this is just so that I can get a really good pigmentation from the shadows. It just really gives it something to grab onto, you know what I'm saying? So that's been working best for me. So if you guys are having trouble getting pigment to kind of pop on your eyelids, try using like a really light concealer and just letting it set down a little bit by itself. I don't like to go in immediately after I put the concealer on my eyes because it can be like still kind of like really wet and sticky. So, oh my god. So I like to give it a couple minutes just to kind of set down and do its thing. Now I'm just going in and buffing out the edges after packing that shadow on. Going in with a slightly smaller blending brush. This is the Morphe M513. I'm gonna go into this shade right here, and that's gonna go in my crease as well. I am going to focus this a little bit lower, more so directly in my crease. That way we don't completely cover the last shade that we just put down. I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting my crease. I'm just using my Maybelline Fit Me concealer in the shade Ivory. This is almost gone. I need to get some more concealer. And I'm going to cut my crease using the Morphe M224 brush. My creases are cut. I've been trying a new technique, so it did get a little sloppy on the outer half, but that's not a problem because we're going to end up putting shadow right back over that anyway. So first and foremost, I do want to dip into this pink shade right here and just put this all over the front of the lid. So I'm just taking a flat foundation brush and I'm just stamping this on the lid. Now I'm stopping here because I'm gonna go ahead and go in with this orange shade in the palette, and this is just gonna help me kind of transition back into that deep brown shadow. I'm just kind of blending that pink and orange together. Now going back in with the M513 that we used in this dark brown shade right here, I'm just gonna go ahead and put this on the very outer corner and just kind of blend it into that orange. Going into this first shade in the palette, I'm just going to place this on the inner corner. Now I'm just going in and making sure that everything is blended together. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same to the other eye off camera, and I'll be right back. So I'm just finishing up my eyes now. I come to realize that the orange was really unnecessary. I didn't really like it anyway, so it just ended up getting covered by that deeper brown shade from the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. And then I just went back over the pink a little bit and just kind of like made things a little bit more vibrant and bright. And that is that. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on to my base now. So I'm gonna go in with the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation. Mine is in the shade 725, and that is Buff Beige. So I'm just gonna take a pump. That's a lot. So I'm just gonna start with one pump and just dot some a little bit everywhere and just go in with my sponge. This is the Eco Tools sponge. I really like this sponge. I think I like it more than the Real Techniques. I haven't used the Real Techniques sponge in so long, honestly, but I remember a few months ago that I tried it and I was just like, I prefer this one. So I've pretty much been sticking with the Eco Tools sponges, and I'm just using the same concealer that I used to cut my crease and prime my lids and carve out my brows, the Maybelline Fit Me concealer in Ivory. I'm just gonna go ahead and set my under eyes. I'm gonna be using my Cody air-spun loose powder, and this is in translucent. I cannot talk today. I prefer the translucent extra coverage. I just figured I'd try the translucent anyway, but the extra coverage really does give you better coverage and nothing comes through that. So when this is done, I am gonna go back to that version. I like to set my smile lines, my chin, because for some reason my chin gets really oily. So I set that with this, and then my nose, because my nose gets really oily as well, and the center of my forehead. I'm gonna use the same powder to set the rest of my face, but you will see that I pack the powder on my T-zone where I get really oily, versus the rest of my face I do set it with a brush. That way it's not, you know, I'm not baking my whole face. And then as I set the rest of my face, I do like to just go ahead and dust away any extra powder, because I don't want to get like super dry underneath my eyes or anything like that. Now I want to work on my lower lash line. I'm gonna start by going in with the pink from the Morphe 12P palette. I'm just gonna start blending this on the lower lash line. Since I'm looking pretty ghostly right now, I'm gonna go ahead and bronze up my face. I'm gonna be using my Rimmel Natural Bronzer, and this is in the shade 027 Sundance. I like using a duo fiber brush just because I feel like with a bronzer, it can really help you prevent yourself from going overboard and just having too much pigment at once. I just start by kind of going back and forth in a line and then blending upwards. That way it kind of gives you that cut like a contour, but you still can get a very bronzy effect. And so it just kind of like knocks out that extra step for me. Taking this flat top brush, it's just like a mini, I don't know, kabuki or something. I'm just gonna dip into that same bronzer we used on the cheeks and contour my nose. Now, moving on to highlight, I'm gonna take my Wet n Wild, what is this? Mega Glow highlighting powder, and this is in the shade Precious Petals. Now I'm just going to take Luminoso by Milani and go ahead and just apply a tad bit of blush. This stuff is like so good, oh my goodness. And this is just going to help me kind of blend everything together also. Taking my powder brush, I'm just kind of going over everything just to make sure that everything looks well blended. I'm going to quickly apply some mascara, and I'm using the Wet n Wild Mega Wear Mascara, and this is in the shade Very Black. I'm going to go in with these lashes right here. These are the Miss 30 Volume Lashes in the style M302A. Here's a better look at them. While we're waiting on the lashes to dry, I'm going to go ahead and pop on a lip. This is the Vivid Hot Laquer in the shade Charmer. Alright, so to finish the look, we're just going to go ahead and spray our face with the Badescu Rosewater spray. Yeah, this is the Rosewater one. Alright guys, this is the completed look. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed, and I will catch you guys in my next one. Bye!